For the longest time now, I've wanted to share some of the techniques that I use drilling sea glass. I would estimate that I drill about 10,000 pieces a year over the last 10 years. So I hope that the techniques that I share with you today are going to help you along the way. And with a little bit of practice, maybe you too will be drilling sea glass as fast as I do it right here. I might have to flip the camera around to film my setup here, but I'm going to share it with you right now. Okay everybody, so this is my work setup right over here. I've got my Dremel 3000 attached to my Dremel work stand, and then a work light that I picked up for about $15 at a Canadian Tire. You could probably buy it at any hardware store. And then on the bottom over here, I've got my flower watering basin, and then this little wood block. I find there's a little give in the center of the stand, so it's good to put something in between it. You don't want to drill directly into your retaining dish with the water in it over here. I like to drill on these little wooden blocks, and they actually are part of little kids' puzzles. You can see like these ones over here, they're brand new. Sometimes they have these little holders in them like this one over here, and that's actually pretty good because you can easily just pull it out with the pliers, and then if you're drilling something like a marble, you can see there's actually a perfect spot for it to sit in and rest. This is a Dremel 3000 over here. I typically set it to 8. If it's a thinner piece, I'll put it down to 6, and if something's thicker, I'll go to 9. You'll notice in between 10 and 8, there's actually like a half speed right over there. I have a jigging motion where I come down with it, and I just go up and down like this. And I give it this nice little tapping right there, up and down, up and down. I don't rest on the side of the hole. I always make sure that I come clean out. You go up, down, up, down. The most important thing is to counter punch your piece. So when you're about anywhere from 50 to maybe 75% of the way through is the numbers I kind of look for. You take your piece and you flip it over, and then you meet the hole halfway through. I used to mark each piece with a pencil when I first started, and nowadays, well, my eyes become so trained that I could do this with a blindfold on. A few other important things that you might need when you're drilling sea glass. It's a nice hot beverage. Today I'm doing green tea. I love to drink green tea when I'm drilling sea glass. I don't want to get too over caffeinated and get the jitters when I'm drilling. And then of course, you got to protect your ears. Any sound in your ears is going to be better than the humming of the Dremel, especially if you plan on drilling a lot of sea glass. So I strongly recommend putting something on that's going to keep you in a good mood and keep you happy. I find it's easier to take my pieces and then drop them into my dish over here before I get started, and then I can just pick them out and put them onto my piece of wood as I'm going, and then I move them to the other side. Pretty much they start on the south side and then they end up on the north side, the farthest away from me. When I'd start out, I'd count out 10 pieces, I'd drill them, and then I would change my water. And then as my eyesight got better, that number increased, and it got up to 20, and then it got up to about 36 really fast. And now I'm comfortable drilling 45 to 50 before I change the water, unless I'm drilling clear pieces or rare pieces, and then I really want my water to be clean and I want to focus on it. Free advertisement for the company. I've been ordering off of Drillax for a very long time. I spent $16 on my first bit at a Home Depot when I started out in 2008. And I remember I only got 6 pieces drilled and I was crying. I brought it back to the store, and then I started looking for cheaper options. I ordered off different eBay sellers for a very long time, and then I met Drillax right over here. And ever since I met this company, I haven't switched. They offered drill bits in a ton of different varieties, which is great. Although this probably is their best seller right over here because so many people need to drill sea glass and they look online. So Drillax, you're welcome. Here you go. I totally endorse your bits. And I have to say though, with the techniques that I use, I can get over 300 pieces on a single one of these drill bits. But don't be discouraged, because there's times where I pick maybe 2 or 3 in a row and they're just complete duds. Like I don't even get anything. So when you're drilling, and you start to see a black dot on your pieces, pretty much what that is that's the carbon from a diamond drill tip, and it's grinding into your piece because you don't have the proper lubrication. It's important that when you're drilling, that you drill underneath the water. It has to be a little bit submerged. And another thing that I know, I really have to say this, is, I know a lot of people say that it's better to grab the Dremel and to drill with their hand. I really can't emphasize enough that a 90-degree angle is the key to a nice, clean, successful hole. Maybe the first 100 pieces that I drilled actually were done by hand, and it was so hard and painstaking. And I used to call them lazy holes, because what would happen is when I was sitting there holding it, I would actually kind of just like rest the side of the bit on the hole, and it created these large, loose kind of looking holes that really weren't clean and appealing at all. And then when I tightened things up and I bought the Dremel work stand, I find it just changed everything. It made it so that I could drill so much faster than I was before, efficiently. I wasn't breaking pieces. One thing about these workstations is that they can actually turn back and forth because they're not just meant for going down 90 degrees. So you have to make sure that you set it properly, because if you set it on a little bit of an angle, when you're counter punching, you're going to see a difference. When you're coming down, it's going to go a little bit that way, but then when you flip over the sea glass, the hole is going to be going the opposite direction of which way your drill is angled at. So it really is key to make sure you have that 90-degree angle. I've got the timer set up right over here in case I have to speed up the time in the video, because I don't want everybody to be sitting here and watching me drill if it takes too long. It's always good to have extra water hanging out in case you need to add to your level here, in case it doesn't come above the piece. You always want to be just a little bit above your piece. You don't want to be too far down, or else it can get really, really sloppy on the RPMs. And I want to show everybody that this is completely empty right over here. So I'm trying to do it without stopping the camera. I'm trying to show everybody here that this is completely empty. Ugh, and then I'm going to spill it all over my lap, which is great. Oh, that's fun. And that's why it's good to have the extra water, everybody, because then you can just add it right there if you need some more. It's okay, though. I knew I was going to get a little bit dirty today. Okay, everybody, I'm back. I set up a timer over here, and I'm ready to go for my world record drilling challenge. So what I'm going to do is I've got a handful of greens right over here, and I'm going to drop them all in, 2 at a time. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20. Put the extra ones down, and now I'm going to take care of my ears. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to drill all of these in under 5 minutes. On a good day, I should be able to do them in 4 minutes. I'm a little nervous right now, so hopefully I can get them done in 4.5 minutes here. This is 20 pieces of sea glass, top drilled. Let's go. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I gotta keep going here. I'm doing good though. 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, I'm almost there. 16. 17. 18. I'm going to do it in under 4 minutes. 19. 20. There you go, everybody. I just drilled 20 pieces of sea glass in about 3 minutes and 50 seconds, which is amazing. I typically average 4 to 5 a minute over the period of an hour. So to do it in under 4 minutes is probably a personal best for me. So now let's talk a bit about the techniques that I just displayed right over here. So well, first actually what we'll do is we're going to take out the sea glass that I just drilled, 2 at a time. 2, 4, 6, 8. You'll see they're all nice clean holes. They're all 1 millimeter holes. 10, 12. Just to make it an official record, I guess we have to do this. 14, 16, 18, and 20. There you go. I've always wanted to share these techniques with everybody and how I do this, because sea glass drilling can be an undaunting task, especially if you're just getting started out. So as you notice, what I do is I take it and I hold it down using my fingers. I like to pinch down on the piece right next to where the hole's going to be, and then I jig it up and down. Sometimes it requires a little bit of force to push it down, but it definitely is effective. You definitely want to have your arm bone over here resting on the table and not up in the air as you're going up and down. And what that does is that creates a more even and more smooth flow. See, when you're sitting here going like this up and down, is a lot more smoother than holding it up like this and going up and down. So definitely you want to keep a contact to the table or the surface that you have your drill on as you're coming up and down. I really hope this video helps everybody all across the world with their sea glass drilling. I remember when I started out how scary and intimidating it was. Just remember to go slow. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I've got a huge bag of pieces that are blown out with huge chips missing out of them. And you know what? To this day, I still blow out the occasional piece. So don't be too harsh on yourself. It's just how it goes. Thanks again for watching, everybody. I know this is different than my normal videos, but I really just wanted to put something out there to share with everybody. I appreciate all the support and the comments and the positive feedback. And if you enjoyed this video and you enjoy my sea glass adventures, it would mean the world to me if you could leave me a like and you could even subscribe and show your support.